Hello, group health plan sponsors. My name is Lowell Walters, and I'm going to talk to you about some new COVID-19 related legislation that allows cafeteria plan election changes, and specifically what you can do for your active employees whose income has dropped due to COVID-19. I'm an attorney at Carlton Fields, and the focus of my practice is employee benefits. Now, an employee benefit arises any time an employer provides its employees something of value. But retirement and health benefits tend to create the most issues, so I tend to spend most of my time fixing those issues. Now, if you watch my video on COBRA notices from about 2 weeks ago, a couple of thoughts may be popping into your head right now. Number one, didn't that video touch on cafeteria plan election changes? And two, did Lowell get a haircut? The answer to both of those questions is yes. The COBRA changes I discussed a couple of weeks ago might trigger a need to update your cafeteria plan or your cafeteria plan SPD. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get this video out quickly. Even though formal amendments are not needed for a while longer, if you plan to utilize any of these changes, you will need to notify your employees. So if you're going to prepare a summary of material modifications to notify your employees of the COBRA changes, you might want to add in the features of this new law to talk about those new rights your employees may have. And yes, I did break quarantine in order to get a haircut after talking with my barber about the safety measures that they are taking, and hopefully you'll agree that those are both smart decisions. So a little bit of background on cafeteria plans. Cafeteria plans fall under Code Section 125, so we sometimes refer to these as 125 plans. These arrangements make medical insurances and similar benefits like dependent care assistance programs more affordable for our employees. It does this because it makes these benefits income and employment tax-free, all right? And this is significant. Now, in fact, during open enrollment, this is something there's almost always an example in the materials that the employees can see. Employers that want to increase their participation should really highlight these examples, all right? Let's take, for example, one of your employees that might be in the 22% income tax bracket. That person generally must earn $125 to buy $100 worth of medical care, right? That actually is underestimating it because that is talking about income tax without including the employment taxes. Generally, employment taxes is about 7.45%, right, of income. If you add in the employment taxes, that same employee must actually earn about $137 to purchase $100 worth of medical care. That's $37 worth of savings for every $100. That is significant. The company saves money on this too. And I touched on that in last week's video about using employee benefit plans to reduce payroll costs. You can get a copy of either of those videos by logging on to carltonfields.com or emailing me at lwalters@carltonfields.com and requesting a copy. The main drawback with cafeteria plans, right, they give this great tax benefit. The main drawback is that elections are generally locked in for the year. And there are limited exceptions, but there is no exception for the following scenario that a lot of employers are facing. You have employees whose hours were reduced because of a drop in business, or maybe they just were not able to provide their services at all during a shutdown, right? But their hours were reduced, they remained on payroll, they remained eligible for group health plan coverage, and now the employee wants to revise their elections so they can have more home pay to cover their other expenses. In the past, employers have generally had to say, I'm sorry, you can't change your elections, right? For one or two of my clients, they had a special situation. I was able to come up with a workaround, but in general, this was not a reason to give someone an opportunity to change their elections. However, IRS Notice 2020-29 was issued on May 12th, all right? And as far as everything that it allows you to do, there are many articles regurgitating what the law says, and if that's what you want, I recommend you go out onto the internet. If you search mid-year election changes 2020-29, you'll come up with them. I want to provide a focused discussion, one-sided discussion on what you can do for active employees whose income dropped due to COVID-19. So here's what you can do for these employees regarding their medical insurance elections. You can let them switch to another employer plan on a prospective basis. You can let them switch to a plan with a higher cost or a lower cost. I imagine most of your employees that want to do this want to switch to a lower cost plan, but if some of them have incurred unexpected health issues, maybe they had to put off certain procedures and now things have gotten worse, they're expecting higher costs, maybe they want a richer plan, you can allow that. You can also allow them to switch to another plan that you don't offer, meaning they're in your group health plan, they want to switch to their spouse's plan, maybe they want to get individual coverage on the exchange, maybe they're eligible for TRICARE or Medicare, you can allow them to enroll into those. And you actually don't even need proof that they actually enrolled into one of those plans. You can allow them to certify that they either did or will soon enroll into one of those plans, and that would be sufficient. And there is a sample certification in the notice. If these employees are in your health or DCAP flexible spending account, you can allow them to increase or decrease their current election. All right. If they ask to decrease their election enough so that no more money is coming out of their paychecks for the remainder of the year, you should be able to feel comfortable. You should feel comfortable with allowing that level of reduction. If they actually want to decrease it so much that it's below what they've already put into the plan and they are hoping to get a refund of what they already contributed, the guidance does not address that, and I would not feel comfortable authorizing that without additional guidance. Once it's in the plan, it's kind of in the plan. Plus, those employees will have the rest of the year to use up those expenses. Now, if your FSA has a grace period, funds that would normally have been forfeited from the prior year can continue to be used for 2020 expenses. So most of my clients that have a grace period use it for their health FSA. If their health FSA had a grace period that ended on March 15th, 2020, right? This would be related to the 2019 calendar year, and then you had the grace period of a few months that ended on March 15th. Funds remaining on March 15th would normally be forfeited, but instead, you can allow them to continue to use those funds for 2020 expenses. Now, these election changes can be made or implemented and used for 2020. These rules do not apply in 2021. All right, it's 2020 only. Now, you can implement it now, but delay amending the plan until later. All right, the deadline to amend the plan is December 31, 2021. So not this December, the following December. And it's the same deadline, whether you have a calendar year plan or a fiscal year plan. Now, you still need to notify your employees timely, so you still might want to issue a summary of material modifications, but the actual plan amendment does not have to happen until much later. Now, the guidance says that the effective date could actually be as far back as January 1, 2020. Now, that concerns me a bit. Again, until now, if any of these employees had come and said, hey, I'd like to change my cafeteria plan elections, and you as the health plan sponsor were following your obligations at the time, you would have said, I'm sorry, we can't do it. So now, if you didn't follow the rules and you allowed them to make those election changes because maybe you felt sorry for them, maybe a retroactive date makes sense. Maybe it'll offer some level of protection. I don't know. It's an issue that's not addressed. But if you obeyed the restrictions and you declined employees' requests to change their elections, you do not want to have an effective date that goes that far back in 2020. If you don't start allowing these changes until, let's say, June 1st, then June 1st is the effective date you want to have. Another potential open issue not addressed is how this might affect COBRA participants. And COBRA participants, they're not subject to the restrictions of Cafeteria Plan 125. But normally, plan sponsors don't give them opportunities to change their elections unless they're required to give them opportunities to change their elections. And normally, COBRA participants only have a right to change their elections at the same kind of time when active employees do. So during open enrollment, they'd have a right to change their elections. If there's a new benefit offering, they'd have a right to change their elections. Does this create a new right? It's an open issue. I don't know. Off the top of my head, off the cuff, if you are letting all of your active employees, right, make election changes, I certainly would feel more comfortable if you let your COBRA participants do that too. All right. If you're only allowing your active employees who had reduced hours due to COVID-19 reasons, had reduced hours, if you're only letting them change their elections, then maybe you can restrict it to COBRA participants who lost their jobs or lost their health plan eligibility because of COVID-19. Something to think about. All right. So here's what you should do. Here's my advice to group health plan sponsors. Step 1, determine if you want to allow all or a subset of your employees make election changes. Number 2, determine which of the permitted changes should be allowed. Number 3, notify employees who have the rights to make their election changes. Number 4, note your decisions for your future plan amendment. Now, a copy of the employee notice might be sufficient to do that. It might be sufficient, it might not. You'll need to decide that for yourselves. Number 5, don't forget to amend your plan and SPD based on what you decided to do. So, now you know about some new cafeteria plan election change options and how to implement them. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please share them. And don't hesitate to contact me with general benefits questions or suggestions for future videos. Thank you.